All right, y'all, we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank y'all so much for being here. I'm the tiny little square in the corner, Rachel Gallaher. I'm excited for to have y'all join us. I'm going to be sharing a little bit about what Plexus has to offer. So yes, the products are awesome, and I could go on and on and on about how great they are and what they've helped me with, my daughter, my family, friends, tons of people, but that's not what we're here for tonight. The opportunity, yes, the products have changed my health, but the opportunity has truly changed our lives financially. And I almost even like gag when I say that because I'm like, oh, here we go, like typical network marketing thing, but it's so true. And I'm going to tell you why. So stick around and see why the cliche is true. Okay, so a little about me. This is where y'all, I had the like back and forth. I was like, man, I almost put some like before and afters of me with Plexus with my like acne face. And then, it went away with the products because of gut health. I almost put some pictures of me losing some of my baby weight. But you know what? I realized that doesn't matter. It really doesn't. When it all comes down to it, y'all, I've been with Plexus for almost 7 years now, and I've gone through so many seasons of life. I was like, I don't want to say like party girl at the bar, but like single girl, like going to happy hour with my girlfriends after work. And I was going out on the weekends and I could do whatever I want, going to festivals to getting married. My husband traveled all the time to getting pregnant, miscarrying, carrying two babies back to back. My kids are less than a year, they're about a year and a half apart, and then now dealing with postpartum. So through all the seasons of life, honestly, like, yes, I'm thankful I have a healthy body, but that's nothing that was consistent. My body changed so much and went through a lot through those years. But you know what was consistent? These people. These are my people. This is my husband. He's 4 months old now. Looks nothing like that. He's like the chunkiest, cutest baby. And then that is our daughter, Finley, our little rainbow baby. But no matter what changes, these people are my constant. And the business is what has truly blessed us and allowed us so many freedoms. This picture is actually in our backyard that I would have never imagined we could afford a house that had a green belt in the backyard and not houses back to back to back that you could pee on. Because they're so close. That's why I chose this picture. And you can truly tell, yes, everyone's got their problems. We all got our things, but we truly are so blessed. And this opportunity has really been the kind of the catapult, to get us to where we are today. So that's a little about me. Today, we're going to be talking about 3 things. I'm going to try and do it in even less than 30 minutes. So I want to value y'all's time. We're going to be talking about foundation. That's your belief in what Plexus has to offer. Because if you don't have that, you're not going to do it. If you're going to the gym, and I do not mean to say this offensively, but I use gym examples because they're very easy. If you have a trainer who is very overweight, who has pizza coming into the gym, a box of pizza, and eats it for lunch, like, you're probably not going to respect them as a trainer. You don't have belief in them, so you're not going to use them. It's kind of the same with this, way different, but the same. If you don't have belief in the products, you don't have the belief in the company, why would you build a business? That just doesn't make sense. So I'm here to help you build belief in that. The fuel, why, what is going to drive you? I just shared mine. It goes way deeper than that, but they're my why. They're why I show up every day, even when I don't want to. But I'm going to go into that a little bit more. And then fruition. How are we going to make it happen? It sounds great. Like, oh, this is so cool. This girl, well, I didn't even tell y'all. I used to teach 4th grade I guess I was a teacher for 5 years. I did Plexus for 1 year. I gave it hell and I said, I'm going to give it everything I can. And if in a year it doesn't work, then it's a compensation plan problem, because I'm a hard worker. So if I'm going to work hard for a year and it doesn't work, then that's not a me problem. It's a compensation plan problem. And the reason I say that is because I do have experience in other network marketing companies, and I did do several before, and I busted my butt. And the biggest check I got was like $48. And I'm like, not worth it. If I'm going to do this, it needs to be worth my time. I'm a very black and white person. I'm a math person. So I'm like, okay, I spent 50 hours and I got $38, not worth my time. But Plexus ended up paying off. I gave it hell for a year and I was able to match my teacher's salary and leave the classroom. So I've been doing this full time for about 5 years now. So saying that though, we're going to talk about the action to get you from point A to point B. Like, okay, that sounds great. I hate my job too. But how do I get from here to here? And I'm going to be realistic with you, because I'm not someone that's going to say, oh, just share and post on Facebook and you're going to be good to go. That's not the truth of it. That's part of it, but that's not the truth of it. So I'm going to be sharing that too. Okay, so conviction over convincing. I was super proud of myself. I was like, look how rhymy I am right there. So conviction over convincing. I am here to I'm not here to convince you. I used to in the beginning be like, come on, do it. It's so great. Do it with me, because I believed everyone should. But then I realized if I had to convince people to get started, I was always convincing them to stay. I was always convincing them, hey, did you take your pink drink? I was like their mother, like texting them every morning, like, did you take it? Did you take it? And then finally I'm like, I'm not these people's mother. I'm over convincing people. So that's not my job. So my job, I'm not going to be here and try and fill you full of fluff and unicorns and whatever else comes with that to get you to join us. That's not what this is about. I'm here to just share. And if you have the conviction to run with it, that's awesome. If you don't, and this isn't for you, that's okay. Not everything is for everyone. My sister's a doctor. And when she tells me stories about work, I think it's disgusting. And I could never be a doctor because I get way too queasy. And she's like, she texted me the other day and was like, hey, sorry, I'll get right back. One of my patients is unresponsive. And I'm over here like panicking. And she's like, oh, don't worry, this happens all the time. I'm like, yeah, different people. So different things are for different people. So if you're not convicted, you know what? Maybe it's not for you right now. Maybe it's not the season for you right now, but keep it in your back pocket because it could be in the future. Or if you're someone that's like, heck to the freaking yes, we had people that got on a call like this a month ago and now are making over $1,000 a month in a month. Like, let me tell you when that happened to me as a teacher getting $1,000 raise in a month. Never. Hashtag never. Okay. So that's, and then this is a quote that I'm, if you know me, I'm really bad with words. And I would be proud because I Googled and Googled and Googled and then looked at my Facebook because I knew I posted this on my Facebook at one point. I'm really bad at remembering stuff, but like the actual word that I took the effort to, because this was a really powerful quote that I heard one time. It's change comes from desperation or inspiration. Most wait until they are desperate to become inspired. I read that and I was like, whoa, it's so true. When you think about anything in your life, you think about anything, not just finances, but you think about like, you know, what caused like that pivotal change in my life? And I can tell you the pivotal change in my life with my finances, I was all right, y'all. Like I was charging stuff over here. I was, you know, robbing Peter to pay Paul. I was getting my card to climb places and I was like, oh, card's broken. You know, how that goes. That was me and I was okay with it. But the moment where I was like, I'm done and I'd become desperate enough, I had a horrible day teaching, horrible, like copier's broken, you know, kids are cussing me out, boss got on to me, like horrible day. I went home, could not wait to just like veg on the couch on all those days, like veg out, turn on Netflix, like crank the air down, get your like Little Caesars $5 pizza and your bottle of wine and just like have a night in your feelings. That's what I was ready to do. And I literally walked in and I clicked the light on in our living room and like nothing came on because I couldn't pay our electric bill. That's when I was like, I'm freaking over this. Like I am done. And that's where my desperation came in. I just like got chills because I remember that night so bad because I was like, this effing sucks. And I lived in Franklin, if you're from around where I live, which is like 40 minutes from town. So I'm like, what am I going to do now? I can't even freaking bathe the nasty day of kid snot off of me. So that was the day that I was desperate enough to change. And that's luckily whenever my friend Jill, who's on this call running the PowerPoint for me, she was sharing plexus. And that's when I said, you know what, why not? Because can't get much worse than I am right now. What's that thing like? I was at the bottom. I wasn't here yet, but you know, I couldn't go down from here. I could only go up from here. So that's kind of one of those moments. So I love that quote. Okay, so the 3 pillars of belief. These are the things I believe that are you have to have belief in order to really, and this is something, guys, that you're not going to have belief in it right away, and that's okay. It will build. Right now, almost 7 years later, I have way more belief in all this stuff than I did in the very beginning. So right now in the beginning, just borrow people's belief. They have enough belief. Just let people breathe in life into you, and people saying like, you can do this. I see something in you. If people are saying that to you, it's probably because you do. You may not see it in yourself yet, but I promise you it's there. So just borrow people's belief until you get your own. But the products, so what can they do for you, your friends, and your family? You do not have to have a testimony of the products to start sharing. You don't. I didn't. I was drinking like 2 Monsters a day, like the big ones. I could tell you all some funny stories. I have like such a squirrel brain, but like I got so many Monsters that I went to the same gas station before work every day. I bought 2 Monsters and I put one of them in the mini fridge for after lunch. And I would drink the first one in the morning, like session of class or whatever. And I remember one day I forgot my debit card and I went there so much, y'all. The little like Arabic guy, y'all know that's all that own gas stations. I'm not being racial. I'm just saying it's true. You know, I could barely even understand him. He let me charge it because he knew I was going to come back the next day. So he told me, I'll just charge you for these tomorrow. Y'all know they're cheap. Like they won't even give you like a mint for free. Okay. I was like, That's how you know you have a problem, okay? So I didn't have a product testimony, but within a couple days I felt better. And I didn't have to wait for a 360 to start sharing the product. I was just excited that I was down to like one monster a day. I was excited that after a week, that guy didn't even know me because I was so embarrassed after that day. Like, I'm so glad I didn't have to stop for my morning, Mountain Dew and Cliff Bar for my breakfast. Lord have mercy, help me back then. But you borrow other people's belief on that if you need to. Read stories. You can Google. I'm like the Google queen. I have to say this. If you've heard me, y'all know this is like, I love it. It's my saying. It's GTS. Google that shiz. My friend, my husband's cousin told me that one time. I thought it was the best thing ever. So GTS product stories for Plexus. Go to our pages that we have. We have testimony pages and read stories. There's no way you're not going to have belief after you read those. They are amazing. If you have issues with PCOS, type in PCOS and Plexus. If you have issues with arthritis, RA and Plexus. If you have issues with bloating and Plexus, I promise you stuff is going to come up. One thing I challenge you to Google when you get off of here is Plexus and gut health. Your mind will be blown. A lot of people too, guys, yes, like finances make your world easier for sure. But you know what? Even the wealthiest people in the world will tell you if you don't have your health, you have nothing. And these products truly help people get their health back. They are that good. I just happened to luck into good products. I was just trying to lose weight and have energy when I got started, but it turned out that I lucked out with some great gut health products. So definitely research GTS, that stuff. So belief in network marketing. This one is my favorite. And I got my little note sheet so I didn't miss anything because I thought this is super important. A lot of people, this is like also one of my pet peeves. And if you've ever said this, shame on you. Think more about your audience. But whenever people go on Facebook or on like, single mom job threads or whatever, and they say, need a job working from home, no MLMs, nothing fake like that. I'm like, last time I checked, that money that goes in my paycheck that is paying our mortgage is for real. People, but give them grace. People don't know what they don't know. Network marketing got a bad name, like whatever, like Amway back in, when was that, like 1980? I don't even know when that was. It is so different now. Y'all think about what you do when you go either to Facebook or Instagram. There's ads and ads and ads and ads and ads and ads. And there's influencers. You know what influencers are? People who have not realized the power of network marketing and a compensation plan. They're getting paid one time when you buy that shirt, one time. If they were to join a network marketing company, they would have residual income and make money off of every single person that ordered a shirt from them and referred it to someone else. That's what influencers are. They are literally network marketers that don't have a compensation plan, so they're making less money. That's what the world is now. It is a online marketing. Storefronts are getting closed by the day. Like our mall, if you live in Bryan College Station, I know some of y'all do, is like the saddest thing ever. I think people go there to like Great American Cookie to get their kids a cookie cake for their birthday. And like, I think that's it. Like there's literally, and maybe like the Annie's pretzel place, there's literally nothing in there. It's because people are going to online marketing. So when I started this 6 years ago and where I am now, just the time gap, oh my gosh, it was so much harder to sell this in the beginning. And now people are like, yeah, click, I know how to do that. I know how to order online. Whereas before, like no one knew how to order online. It's just so different. So that's one reason for network marketing now. You're leveraging big brands. Plexus has a name for itself. When people ask what I do now and I say Plexus, everyone's like, oh yeah, I've heard about them. Like it's always a positive response. You don't have to take the time to build that brand for yourself. You're buying a system. You probably got your welcome pack in the mail. If you haven't got it yet, you will get this beautiful package that has your products in it and a bunch of stuff with it. They have built and spent millions of dollars on branding. We don't have to do any of that, y'all. Low startup and overhead. Right now, you can start your business for $2. I couldn't even buy a Kit Kat at Target right now for $2. Y'all know when you leave Target, a tiny little bag is like 80. Okay, for $2, you can start a business that can actually give your family income. It's so cheap. It's insane. Low startup and overhead. What I love is that we don't have to carry product at all. I carry no product. When people message me and say, hey, Rach, do you have this? Can I buy it off of you? I'm like, girl, I only buy my own product. Like, I don't have room for that in my house. I'm like a minimalist over here. So we don't have to stock product and have money into that. I know a lot of husbands, a lot of times are like, do not spend money on that. No, I don't want a garage full of crap. Guess what? they can put their crap in there because our crap isn't going to go in there because we don't have to hold it. Plexus gives you a beautiful website. The people that want to order from you go to that website, they order and it gets shipped directly to them. And then guess what? If they have an issue, you send them to Plexus customer service and you don't have to deal with the dang thing, which is nice because I don't like dealing with unhappy people, which there isn't a lot of them. But if they do have an issue, then they go straight to Plexus. So like if a product's missing or whatever, you can just direct them to customer service. They're great. You don't have to deal with any of that. So I'm going to talk about that part next, the next one. So recognition, Plexus has awesome incentive trips. We just got back. If you were invited by one of us, you probably saw that we went to Arizona. Gosh, it's so fun. I can't even tell you enough about Plexus trips. Jill, actually, my upline, who she taught across the hall from me. I remember, like, I'm such a trip junkie. Like I said, we're going to Cabo on Sunday, but I remember she was like, hey, you should go to Vegas with me or Phoenix for a convention. And like, she was trying to pull up a video to show me, to, I guess, like convince me. I was like, dude, you have me at Phoenix. I don't care. Like, I will go. I will sit through a meeting. If it's dumb, whatever, we'll be in Phoenix so we can hang out after. Little did I know. Told me, but it was a really fun trip. Plexus puts on really, really fun trips. You're in the people helping people business. I feel like a lot of us are helpers, and it feels good, y'all, when someone messages and it's, oh my gosh, I got a $400 deposit in my bank account. Is this for real? That's like the best feeling ever when people get compensated for it and they message you and they're like, girl, with this $100, I could buy groceries for my kid that I wasn't going to be able to buy. Like they're going to be able to throw whatever they want in the cart, and I've never been able to do that. Like that is the stuff that blows my socks off that I love so stinking much. You get paid exactly the amount of value that you add to the company. What you put in is what you're going to get out. It's pretty simple. If you don't put much in, not going to get much out. If you put a lot in, maybe you'll be able to leave your job like we did. You will be able to leave your job if you choose to. You don't have to. And then there's everything in between. If you're someone that wants to make $100 a month, 500, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, it really just depends on what you want to put into it. It really, really does. And I'll talk more about that at the end. There's a generous compensation plan. I'm going to talk about that more than the end. You can condense a 30-year career into 3 to 5. All the money stuff I'm going to talk about at the end because this chart is going to blow y'all away. And then this allows you guys, and this is one of those that's like so cheesy, but it's so true. And I didn't understand in the beginning. It allows you to create your dream life versus, oh, this is the dream job that I want to spend 60 hours a week at. Because who really wants to work that much? No, not me. When I was single, I didn't mind it. You know what, though, with my kids, let me tell you what I don't want to do. Miss my kids growing up. And that's not what I'm about. And that's what my teaching job would have made me do. So I was really blessed to find this one I did. And then the last thing is belief in yourself. This is what I hear people say a lot. I'm not good at that. I don't know how to do network marketing. Neither did I. I'm not good at sales. Neither was I. I was an English major in school. I don't know a lot of people. I didn't even get on my Facebook before I started doing Plexus. What else? I'm not good at social media. Again, I didn't even get on Facebook at all before Plexus. What else do people say? I don't have a big enough network. I don't have a big enough influence. So many things that people say. I don't have the time. That's a big one. Guess what? None of us do. But if this is important enough to you, those excuses kind of go by the wayside and you make a way and you realize, oh, you know what? I did have enough time. I was just binge watching Netflix. That's probably the second most popular thing on Facebook. I'm not hating on anyone. This was me too. Like, I'm just giving you an example though, of when people are like, hey, what are some new series that I can binge? I have 2 days off work. So it's like, people have time. It's just, what do they want to do? And sometimes that hurts and you're like, okay, Bia, but it's like, probably because you're like, yeah, you're right. I do have time, but it's only 20% skill set. So all those things that I told you that are skill sets, the social media, that I'm not good at sales, that's only 20% of it. 80% is mindset and what goes on between your ears. You telling yourself people aren't going to listen to you. You telling yourself you can't do this. You telling yourself you don't know enough people. That's all stuff that thankfully can be worked on. And y'all, I'm positive and happy now. I was not like this when I started Plexus. I was a very negative, hated my job, didn't want to get up in the morning to go to work. Like, I was in that funk, live for the weekend. So if that's you right now, like, you can go back to being you before the job life and the work life kind of put that heavy on you, if you know what I mean. So Next, I'm going to introduce Kelsey Webb. She actually ranked up to Senior Gold Brand Ambassador last month, which I will at the end show you about what she makes, but she is freaking killer. I love her. I actually did not know her before Plexus, and this is a really cool part of Plexus too, is you get to meet really cool people that Plexus or no Plexus, like Kelsey Webb would be in my life forever. I love her. She is my people. She's so funny. She's down to earth. She has the cutest little family. So she's going to hop on and take a few minutes and just share her business story with y'all.
Thank you, Rachel. Hi, guys. Kelsey Webb. Sorry that it looks like I'm a hoarder back here. We are in the process of moving, and this room is going to be my closet / office. And so it's a wreck behind me. So I apologize for that background. But I wanted to say hi. I'm so glad you're here. If you are here, someone here believes in you, and you should believe in yourself. And so I was someone that suffered from IBS so bad. It was about 2 years ago. And when I just finally said okay to the products and I stayed consistent and I took my supplements and I drank my water, my IBS went out the window. And I still remember to this day saying to my husband, let's go test it out. Let's go try Mexican food. Let's get the queso. Let's get the chips. Let's get the enchiladas. And I just remember going to the car after I ate all of that stuff, the grease, everything, and just bawling my eyes out because I didn't run to the restroom and I didn't have bent over pain from the IBS. And so I was someone that did have belief in the products before I saw the opportunity part. And so with that, my friend Marissa, that's on this call, she was like, you need to start sharing. And so they started a launch event for me. And that's when I started adding like 5 friends, 10 friends, 15 friends, 50 friends. And then before I knew it, everyone in my hometown wanted to do this with me. People in the next hometowns were wanting to do this with me. They wanted to see like what it was that was, I literally was changing and everyone around me saw that. And to this day, I am definitely not the person I was 2 years ago. And so with that opportunity, that first month that I added all those people, I actually made $4,000. And it's still weird to even say that because that money was mind blowing. And I still remember getting that first paycheck too. And just remember being like, oh my gosh, I started this to help with my IBS. And then here I am now, and I have this money. And now with this money, it has been able to give the opportunity for my family to travel, to dream. And I now can say that this year I am going to be not teaching in the classroom anymore. And so to be able to stay home with my babies just literally brings me to tears still to this day. And not only do I have the health aspect, the opportunity aspect to make the money and to provide dream life for my family, but I also have a community of friends. And I just want you all to know you can have that too. And it's okay to dream. And with Plexus, that is available. So I'll make that kind of short and sweet and let Rachel wrap it up. But so glad you're here and glad I got a chance to talk to you guys.
Thank you so much, Kelsey. I'm so excited for her, y'all. Can you imagine? Like, I just remember Kelsey telling me her little boy, both of them actually were, no, it was before her second one was born. And I remember her being like, I mean, daycare's calling again and I don't know what to do. I can't take off work. And I just remember like being like, oh, Lee, that's awful. You know, I just can't, my mama heart was breaking. Like you're at work panicking because your kid's sick and you can't go get him because you literally can't take off work. I'm like, ugh, awful. So I'm so excited for you. And I'm sure a lot of y'all can relate to that. So your why is what's going to drive you. I'm going to blow through this fast because I feel like I want to talk about the money part a little bit more. Your why is what's going to drive you. It's what is going to make you show up even when you don't want to. It's going to change, guys. Mine at first, I didn't even have a why. And then I was like, oh, that's cool. I can pay my car payment. And then I was like, oh, I can pay my mortgage. And then it was like, oh, shoot, maybe if I like double, I'm making $1,000 a month. If I double this, I'm making what I could make teaching. Like, okay, so I can bust it a little harder because I'm not doing near as much work as I thought I would have to get this. And then it turned into, oh my gosh, I'm making like 6,000 a month. Then I was like, I'm making 8,000 a month. So it's like your vision grows as you grow. So don't be intimidated by that. And your sponsor can talk to you and stuff and kind of help you figure out this. I feel like that's more of a, when you get in a rut, you got to like dig deep and be like, what's going to keep you going? And then action. with action comes success. If you're not going to be in action, your success will be slow. I'm just going to be honest with you. If you don't get into action, if you're someone who's waiting for the perfect time, waiting for the perfect message, waiting for the perfect season of life, waiting till your kid goes to daycare, waiting until you lose a little bit of weight, wait until life slows down. I'm a meme girl. I love memes. What's that meme that's like, here I am, 30 years later, still waiting on next week when things slow down so I can get started. Literally, that's life, though. It is never going to slow down. Something is always going to happen. But you know what? Whenever you change your life a little bit and you're able to have a little bit of financial freedom, it's amazing that life really does slow down because it can. The hustle doesn't have to be there because it can. I had a conversation with one of my really good friends. She came over the other day and I told her, I was like, you know what's crazy? Like, I never had a time where I'd be like, I don't have to do that because we don't need the money. Like, I always thought I would need the money, but there's opportunities that people have kind of thrown my way that I'm like, I'm good. And I never had that option before. I was never good. I always needed the money. I was always hustling for the cash. But instead, I can take the opportunity people give me and think about, but who could use that opportunity that it could bless and bless them to them? And that feels like really good. So, success doesn't come without action. 4 pillars: recruiting, retention, duplication, and leadership. That's things that when you're working this, you're responsible to work with but you got to get people on the products. You got to support them on their products, which is customer service, make sure they're loving them, get them to get people loving the products. And then through that, your leadership development is just going to come naturally. So 7 out of 10 Americans, y'all, this is mind blowing to me. I'm a Dave Ramsey girl. We got out of a lot of debt because of Dave Ramsey program. 7 out of 10 Americans live paycheck to paycheck. That is mind blowing to me. There's 33 people on this call. That means about 24 of the people on this call are living paycheck to paycheck. That means if your tires blow out, you're going to have to go get one of those like tire credit cards. That means if the ice storm apocalypse happened like last year in Texas, you're not going to be able to afford that. That means if you get sick with COVID right now and have to take 10 days unpaid off of work, you're probably going to have an issue. Like, that's mind blowing. Like, about 24 people on this call are living paycheck to paycheck. That's not a stat I made up. That's like the financial stat. I went to the legit financial website and got that. How mind blowing is that? And if you look at this chart, guys, if you help just 3 people, when you order your products, you get a referral link. If you help just 3 people this month get on the products, you make $355. You know what that could have done for me when I was teaching? That could have paid my car bill, my car note. That could have got it to where I could go out to eat. That could have got it to where I could fill up my grocery card. That could have got it where every time I got gas, I wasn't having to pull up my Chase app and make sure I had enough money to put gas in my car. Every time I checked out, whenever I went to McDonald's, legitimately, I got declined on the dollar menu at McDonald's. I didn't even have a dollar in my account. $355 is a lot of freaking money. And that, all you have to do is get 3 people to do this with you to earn that. You help 6 people, that's 560. That's more than a fourth of what I made teaching a month. Help 9 people, I made $1,800 a month as a teacher. That is half of what I got paid as a teacher. And all you have to do is help 9 people get on the products. And we will share with you how to do that. Just talk to your sponsor. This is a breakdown of the ranks. So Kelsey is senior gold, which about 20 grand a year. So I would guess that she's probably, as a teacher, I don't know, getting paid like 35-ish is probably like the average of teachers, 35 and 40. So she's making pretty decent amount here with these hustling some supplements up in here. And y'all, she had a baby in between when she started, didn't it? She's been with us 2 years, but what she didn't tell you is 10 months of that she was throwing up and couldn't work. So she made it to this rank, licking the porcelain toilet over there, the porcelain throne, whatever they call it, when she was 6. So she didn't even work for half of that time, and she was still able to make it to that rank. We have people who started 2 months ago that are making gold pay, which is $10,000 a year. We have someone who's going to rank senior ruby this month, $55,000 a year. That's more than I got paid teaching. So there's really good compensation for what we're doing. But a lot of that doesn't mean a lot because you're like, I don't know how much that is monthly. So look what I did, the teacher and me, I calculated it here. And I'm going to tell you what monthly each rank is. Silver. So think in your mind as I'm saying this, and I got to go fast because I got to wrap it up. Think in your mind how much this amount of money I'm about to say, what it could do for you. So what can this amount do for you? Silver monthly, $300. What could that pay for you? Groceries, gas, part of your kid's daycare, diapers, formula. I just had a conversation with my friend. I'm like, why is formula so expensive? Baby's got to eat, like what could that pay for your kid? Senior silver, $594 a month. What could that do for you? Car note, some credit card payments, What could that do for you? Gold, $892, half of what I made teaching almost. What could that do for you? Our mortgage in our first house was $650. That could have paid our mortgage. Senior gold, 1,784. At senior gold, that is matching my teacher's salary right there, pretty close. Ruby, 2,740. That's when I quit teaching, is when I was Ruby. I made that in a year. Senior Ruby, $4,654. One girl on here is about to rank up to that this month. Emerald, almost $10,000. Let me tell you when I was ever going to make 10,000 as a teacher. Never. Let's talk about that. Sapphire, 17,000, and then diamond, 38,000. And this is monthly, 38,000 a month. Y'all, that's for real money. We got a diamond on this call right now. I can tell you that's for real money. She my friend. I've seen them checks. Okay. So real money, guys. What could that do for you? How could that change your family's life? Because it is possible, and it really isn't as hard as you think it is, because we have a killer team. Can I say it? We have a kick-ass team. We work really hard, and we know how to lead to get these paychecks. All you have to do is decide, you know what, I'm going to give it a go, because what's the worst that's going to happen? You give it a go, and then you make, who's going to make, who's going to quit if they really give it a go and start making money? No one. Or you do start saying, and you're like, you know what, I'm just not willing to do it. This isn't me. And that's fine. This isn't for everyone. And then the last slide here, and I'm a minute over, dang it. Sorry, y'all. I was really trying here. The last slide, it says, it's not clicking over. Yeah, hold on, slide girl. I'm just kidding. What if your calendar was empty and your bank account was full? What would your life look like? And that's such a far-fetched idea for some people, but I'm telling you what, my brother, the reason I'm going to Cabo is he had a free trip from work, all-inclusive resort. They're about to have a baby, so we couldn't go. And he literally called me and said, hey, do y'all want to go on this trip? And guess what? I didn't have a job I had to take off for. And I said, yeah, I do. And you know what? I'm about to get off of here. And I'm not saying this to be like, oh, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. I never could do this. So even to this day, it's still mind blowing. I'm about to book a massage there and do all this stuff that I would have never been able to do. But because of this opportunity, I'm able to. Like, that is what I could not see in the beginning. That if someone had told me in the beginning, like, hey, your brother's going to call you to go to Cabo and you're not going to have to take off work and you're going to have money to pay for a massage at the swing resort and this and that, would have been like, freaking drop dead. Okay, I can't even like clearly pay my light bill over here. But it's true. Like, if you stick with this, if you work for it, if you grind through it, and even if that's not what you want, maybe you just want to get your products paid for, that's perfect. But I challenge you to dream and think, if your bank account was full and your calendar was empty, what would your dream life look like? And if what you're doing right now is going to get you there, awesome, keep doing it. But I bet at least 24 of us on here are going to be able to say, no, if I kept on doing what I'm doing now, there's no way that dream life that I have is going to come into fruition. So thank y'all so much for joining us tonight. If you are not in the messenger event, let us know in the chat. We'll get you over there. You'll be a little bit behind, but that's okay. You can catch up after. But thank y'all for joining us. And I hope that this gave you some vision, this gave you some hope, and this gave you something to chew on. And reach out to the person who invited you and let them know what you're thinking, because I know that they want to help you out. Bye, guys.